always, to those who watch, like, comment, and subscribe to my video, the March 8th International Women's Day video. Thank you so much for watching those videos. I had two of them. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Ramadan. Many of you may not know what the month of Ramadan is, so I'm going to talk about what that is. But before I get started, I teach, but I'm not a teacher. I instruct, but I'm not an instructor. I profess, but I'm not a professor. In this new year, I'm being very, very careful with my I am statements. I am present. So the month of Ramadan this year started March the 9th, actually March 10th, and it's going to end April the 9th, 2 days before my birthday. So for those of you who are not Muslim, so Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, observed by Muslims worldwide as a month of fasting, prayer, reflection, and community. And I usually fast, whether I'm in my country or outside of my country, I usually fast for Ramadan. Mostly because Christians fast for 40 days. And so I figure if I do 30 days with the Muslims, I can do 10 days with Christians. During this time, the work hours are cut in half. So instead of going from like 9 to 5, it's mostly maybe, it could be, depending on your school, the private sector's hours are a little bit shorter and the public sectors are a little bit longer. So maybe it's like 8 to 2:30 or 8 to 11:30, depending on the day. In some of the private sector schools, this is meaning in the countries that are predominantly Muslim region, Fridays for private schools, there's no school on Friday, but with the public school, there is school on Friday. It's just like a half day, like 8 to 8:30 to 8:30 to 11:30. So that's how that goes. So they fast from sunup to sundown. So if you're in a Muslim country, that's a very long time to fast. And so during this time, you will notice that people are a lot quieter. There is no food, there are no drinks. Even at the water cooler, the water containers have been taken away. People are praying more. They are reading the Quran. It seems a little bit more focused. And in my situation, it's a lot quieter, which I enjoy. Depending on where you are in the world, some students are also taking exams during the month of Ramadan. So many of you are probably thinking, first of all, fasting from sunup to sundown for 30 days is not something I can do. It's okay. If you're not Muslim, you don't have to. And so many of you are like, wait, the kids are fasting and they have to do an exam? I don't know if I can deal with that, because most of you are like, when I get hangry, it is not a good thing. And I have to say, it has been really challenging for the students to take exams during Ramadan. Their energy is lower. They are not as focused as they would be. Some of them come in a little bit more tired. They're a lot more confused and just a little bit groggy. Now, I told you that I was fasting. And so a couple of days ago, I found out that I am no longer able to fast. So on March the 8th, International Day, I woke up and I had a bit of a problem. So I stayed home. I had a touch of diarrhea. And I didn't really think anything of it. But a lot of people at work had it too. So I just thought, okay. Most people weren't really talking about it. And so a week later, I go into my doctor's office, and she says to me, this is something that's going around. I've had it. All of the doctors had it. Most of the people here have had it. And so because I'm battling, whatever this is, I'm not able to fast. And so, to be perfectly honest with you, fasting is easy for me, right? I already eat like a bird to a certain degree. So fasting doesn't really bother me. And a lot of times I just find myself, I just wake up and I'm not eating or I'm not drinking. And so I remember the first time I fasted, which was like, it's a long time ago, but the first time I had fasted when I was in a Muslim country, I'm not even sure how long ago that was. I woke up with so much clarity. You know, when you're in another country and you're a Christian and a lot of things are going on and you seem to can't like get your footing, fasting was really good. I kind of woke up, I slept for a very long time. And when I woke up, I just had a lot of clarity and I was writing and I wasn't watching a whole lot of TV. I was reading books. And so the one thing that I had a problem with was breaking my fast. So when the sun goes down, you hear the prayer. You also hear like a cannon. And then people pray. And then the food is being laid out for people to eat. The thing that I thought was really cool was, I remember one time we were in a taxi and we were coming back from the mall and it was time to break fast. So the taxi pulled over. They started praying. The men goes into the mosque to pray. And my sister, she prayed right there. She prayed, actually we went to the women's mosque and, you know, she did her prayer. And I, you know, prayed as well. I didn't do her prayer, I did my own prayer. And then after a while, somebody knocked on the door and they brought us food. And it was, oh my goodness, it was a big, big plate like this. There was rice, chicken, salad. And there's a special way to break your fast. So there's three to 5 days, laban or yogurt, soup, like lentil soup, a salad, and then we kind of get into the main course. And I thought that was really cool. Also, if you're in a Muslim country, or even if you're not in a Muslim country, what you'll notice is the areas where they gather to pray, they will give out food. So if the men are lining up or the women are lining up, they give out plates of food, and it's nice. They give you like these really big, beautiful, juicy dates, and the food is fresh. It smells really good. You get salad, water, yogurt, fruits. And a lot of times, if you've been there a couple of times, you tell them what your dietary needs are, right? Some people are type 1 diabetic, some people are type 2 diabetic, some people are vegan. So they actually, they make the boxes based on the people. And if you've been there before, like I said, they already know who you are. You just tell them like what it is that, you know, I'm diabetic, I'm type 1, I'm type 2, I'm vegan, you know, whatever the case may be. There are times when you cannot fast. So if you are pregnant, you cannot fast. If you are diabetic, or type 1 or type 2 diabetic, if you're like me, who's sick at the moment, you're not allowed to fast, because even though there's a lot of really good health benefits to fasting, it's very important that you consult your doctor before you do anything. I'm not a medical professional. When I fast, I don't consult anybody. I just feel like other people are fasting. I'm in their space, so let me just kind of fast with them. The one thing that most people notice is you're dehydrated, especially if you're in like Arizona, any desert state or any desert country, a place where it's just extremely dry, hot and dry, you're dehydrated. And so you really have to be very, very careful with fasting. Do consult a medical professional. Do get checked out a couple of times a year. Right before the month of Ramadan, you probably should be seeing your doctor to see if you're physically fit to fast, and then if you're mentally fit to fast. It's very important that you are physically, mentally, socially, and emotionally able to fast. And so while I'm unable to fast with food and water, I have been fasting with my speech, Okay, you guys remember before I was very sick. I wasn't able to talk for a very long time because I had various problems. And so I have been very, very careful with my words, who I talk to, how I talk to them, how long I talk to them. And I really kind of enjoyed that. Of course, when I went to the doctor and the doctors were like, you're unable to fast because you have to take. So what I'm taking is I'm taking a probiotic. I'm taking something that I have to 30 minutes before food and then 20 minutes after my food. And so they did my blood work. My blood work was good. My brother is a nurse and a doctor, so he let me know that it is good. My stool, you know, is not good, not bad, but you know, we're hopeful. So that's that. So in terms of speaking, I'm spending more time while they are praying. I am just really thinking about when I speak, how I speak, how often I speak, to whom I speak, am I loud? What's the energy when I'm speaking to someone? I'm being more conscious about the energy that I bring. I tend to walk fast and hard. I've changed my momentum of walking because other people around me are fasting, so they're not moving as fast as I am moving. So I'm slowing down a bit. When you're fasting, when other people are fasting and you're not, that's another thing. Be very mindful of the people who are fasting around you. So there is an area at work where people who are not fasting and taking medication and just pregnant diabetic can go into and just eat. It is, in most places, it is far away from everywhere else, like the staff rooms, or not the staff rooms, the staff rooms or the lounges. So if the lounge is close to the staff room, most people would just move the lounge away from the staff rooms. They may put it into a smaller classroom that nobody is using. So I'm very mindful about eating around other people, just being mindful of my speech, mindful of my energy, mindful of where I eat. Students are taking exams. There will be exams next week, and it's difficult. I can already, like I said before, I can sense and feel how when they come in, they're groggy as opposed to being like, hey teacher, what's going on? Can you help me with this grammar point? It's more like, hey teacher, how's it going? They're kind of walking around, not like zombies, but with very little energy. I can say another thing. Fasting has been good for me because it rests your digestive system, right? Your body is no longer digesting stuff. And so I'm kind of grateful that I have diarrhea because things are coming out of me. My doctor did not prescribe an antibiotic because she really wanted to see like what was happening, and I'm very grateful for that. I have a couple of doctors. One doctor is from India. One doctor is Indian from America. Like I'm Cherokee, so they're Cherokee. And then my other doctor is Egyptian, and they work together. Even though they're in different offices, they work together. I text one and say, hey, I'm in this neighborhood, so I went to this doctor because I'm close. And they kind of just jump on Zoom and, they listen to each other and kind of hear me out. And they kind of decide like, oh yeah, do this one, or okay, do that one. And so I'm very blessed. I can't complain. Very blessed with healthcare and 3 really cool doctors that take very good care of me. I know my brother and my family and my friends are very grateful to these people. So after Ramadan, what I might do is I'm gonna bring them a gift because they definitely deserve it. I was gonna say something else. Yes, like I don't think we realize how hard it is on our body when we are constantly eating and drinking. I've heard of intermittent fasting. My twin A.J. Throwback, he's done it. He's also vegan as well. And so I have heard stories of people who literally got better health-wise because they were fasting, because chewing your food, swallowing your food, it has to digest if you're eating too much red meat. So I've heard of a lot of people whose lives have improved because of fasting and because of intermittent fasting. Traveling through the world, I've met a lot of people who actually do fast during Ramadan because because of the health benefits, the clarity, the health benefits, how they feel afterwards. Now it's important, as I mentioned before, it's really important to break your fast a certain way because fasting is supposed to be helpful to you, to every aspect of your life. And if you are religious and you're fasting, that means you're praying and you're reflecting and you are surrounded by family and you are engaging in things that are loving, kind, godly, positive, uplifting, inspirational, and just being there for other people. And I think that's great. But if you're not religious and you're fasting, I would suggest that you get yourself into a community where people are being positive, where people are being conscious, where people are being mindful, where people are just overall good-hearted, kind-hearted, doing good deeds, feeding the homeless, doing outreach programs, going to soup kitchens. You might even want to volunteer. I volunteered a couple of times in the countries, other countries, to just hand out food or even to package food. Now is a really good time to give back, to be of service, to feed homeless people in your area, to find out if anybody needs food, shelter, money, support, listening to somebody. All of these things are really, really good. The month of Ramadan is a great place to start, but we can also move with the fasting and praying and supplication and community and reflection into every single month. You can, intermittent fast on certain days or fast on, do a full fast on the day. But I'm very grateful for all the things that have happened to me, negative and positive. They have been happening for me. They have been happening for me. Another concern for me is the weight I've lost, because I've lost a lot of weight. My doctors don't think it's a bad thing, but they're being very watchful because remember, I was sick before, so I lost weight then. So I'm sick now, so I'm losing weight now. What I will say is I'm on a very strict diet at the moment. Now I love spicy food. Indian food, love it. The tikka chicken, oh my goodness, like love it. So spicy, so flavorful. Just absolutely love it. There's a dish that I had a couple of years ago. It's called makbous. There's a couple of dishes. There's biryani, which I think is Indian, but if you go to any Middle Eastern region, they have a lot of it. You have biryani, which is like chicken, rice, and spices, and makbous is still chicken, rice, and different kind of spices. And then you have, what is it called? And then there's kapsa. Kapsa is more the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's dish. And every country in the Middle East and or in Asia makes it differently. I think we all have dishes where we do rice and spices and chicken. But makbous, excuse me, a couple of years ago I was at a place called K-Cow. K-Cow has really good food in general. It's healthy food, it's made differently. And I ordered chicken biryani, but they sent me makbous. Flavorful, so flavorful. The chicken is tender and juicy. The rice is plump and soft. It's like yellow and brown, and there's caramel, onions, and there's like carrots and cardamom. There's all these. Oh my goodness! Ladies and gentlemen, we got to start traveling, especially for the food. Right? And I would be talking about the goodness of food while it's Ramadan, right? And that's what people do too. Like they talk about, when they're about to go home, it's like, oh, I'm about to make this, oh, I'm gonna make this. And another thing I love too is, I don't know what country you're in right now, but traveling the world, I learned something really, really cool about men from other cultural and ethnic backgrounds, okay? The Pakistani and Indian men, they can cook. You should see them in the supermarket with their wives. The wives are the ones that are pushing the cart, and the men are the ones that's like, okay, onions, garlic, and they get all of all the fresh stuff. You see them in the produce aisle, they're getting thyme and sage and basil and all of the oregano and all of these seasonings, right? And I love going to the supermarket and just walking down the aisles and seeing all of the spices that the Indian and Pakistani and just the Asian people use, and the vegetables. I lived in South Korea, so the food, especially like the vegetarian food, like they have a lot of healthy options. A lot of stuff was always just very fresh. I can see why most of the people in Asia are very slender. They don't eat a lot of, at least back then, 2006 or 7. Back then, it was all fresh foods, fresh veggies, fresh fish, fresh chicken, fresh pork, even fresh pork. I don't eat pork anymore. And there's a lot of reasons why I don't eat it. Biblical reasons, health reasons. I know that a lot of people eat it, no shade, no judgment. It's delicious. Have fun. Eat it. Please eat it in moderation. Because what I ended up learning was our bodies can't process certain meats. Like it takes, when you look online at how long it takes for food to digest and process, vegetables and stuff like that, yogurt, stuff like that. It's not like hours, maybe minutes, but when it comes down to things like beef, it takes the body a long time to break down these foods. And this is the work that the body has to do every single day. And so I cannot stress enough, if you haven't fasted before, try it. And you don't have to try it for as long as people over here do it, but just try it. Try it for like maybe an hour. You can fast from anything. You can fast from talking. You can fast from gossiping. You can fast from looking at things that are like violent. You can fast from drinking. You can fast from smoking. You can fast from anything that's like negative and doesn't really uplift you and motivate you. So you want to, replace those with something like listening to gospel music, or meditating, or reading the Bible, reading the Torah, reading the Quran, reading something self-help or something uplifting. So, yeah. So Ramadan ends April the 9th. And then a few weeks after that is called Eid. And we get a week off for that. And that is just another time to celebrate and spend time with family and reflect and talk about your challenges and, what God has revealed to you and what confirmations that you received from fasting and praying. Yeah. You didn't hear my stomach, but it was growling. I have to take one of my medications before I eat. Oh, I forgot to tell you what my diet was. So my diet is steamed white rice, plain pasta, and potatoes. Plain potatoes, no spices. I have to refrain from spices because that may play a part in what's happening with my body as well. And that's very difficult because I just told you I love spices, love spicy food. So I want to thank you for listening. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Watch the video, like it, subscribe. Please share it with someone who has no idea what Ramadan is, and fasting and nutrition. Remember, whenever you're going to start something or as it pertains to your health, please talk to your medical professional. Please. I am not a doctor. I'm an amazing unicorn human being, not a doctor. So have a great day. I must sign off how I always do. Go to work on time, do your job to the best of your ability, mind your business at all time, and go home to the life you've been blessed with. If you're Muslim, Ramadan Kareem.